Welcome to the internship program. I am Shubham Gupta from NextGen AI Frameworks Pvt Limited. I have 14 years of work experience in the fields of artificial intelligence, software development and robotics. So let us look at this new article RNNs that I have created. It is available in blog section. So let's see what RNNs are and where they are used. So I have created this project again for sentiment analysis using the IMDb dataset, but this time there is some difference. The difference is I'm using RNNs. So what's the full form? Recurrent neural networks, and LSTM full form is long short term memory. So I will give you a simple example. You must have seen many models like ChatGPT, which can keep the previous memory also, what you communicated with the ChatGPT. So this is not the similar thing, as they will also be using the database to store the data. Here no database is involved, but the thing is uh, here it will keep the memory of the previous data to compute the output for the future data or current data. So I will tell you in simple words what RNNs are, and then in the professional terms what RNNs are. So in simple words, recurrent neural networks. So imagine your brain is like a very smart calculator. Normally calculators can only work with one number or a few numbers at a time. But in real life, when you read a book or listen to a story, your brain remembers what happened earlier and uses that memory to understand what's going on now. So read this line, this is very important. So when you read a book or listen to a story, your brain remembers what happened earlier and uses that memory to understand what's going on now. So RNNs are bit like your brain, but are special computer programs that can remember information from earlier. When they look at a new word in a sentence, for example, they don't just see it by itself, they also remember the words that came before, so they can understand the full meaning of the sentence. They also remember the words that came before, so they can understand the full meaning of the sentence. So this is the thing. So in very simple words, in recurrent neural network, it will remember what you gave earlier, or it will keep things in memory, just like your brain remembers what happened earlier and uses memory to understand what's going on now. So this is recurrent neural network. Now what is long short term memory, LSTM? So now RNNs are great at remembering things, but sometimes they forget things too quickly. Like when you forget something you learned last week. That's where LSTMs come in. So RNNs are great at remembering things, but sometimes they forget things quickly. So there you will require LSTMs. So LSTMs are a special type of RNN that are really good at remembering important things for a long time, and they know when to forget things that aren't needed anymore. It's like having a superpower in your brain that helps you remember the important parts of a story and forget the rest. Example: imagine you are reading a story about a dog. At first you learn the dog's name as Max. A regular program might forget the name later in the story, but LSTM would remember the name of the dog throughout the whole story, helping it make sense of everything that happens to Max. So in short, RNNs and LSTMs help computer understand and remember things that happen over time, like sentences in a story or even songs and videos. Real life example, you can see ChatGPT. It has previous memory. So the LLM, large language models, lots of models are available. So they contains these kind of things, these kind of techniques to remember what was told earlier. So if you create a chat GPT prompt, it will remember what you said earlier. So let's see professional words. Let's see in professional words how you say recurrent neural networks. So recurrent neural networks are a class of artificial neural networks designed to recognize patterns in sequence of data such as time series, natural language, and sequential event. So it was designed for these specific tasks. So unlike traditional feed-forward neural network, which assumes that inputs are independent of each other, RNNs leverage the concept of temporal dependencies, meaning that they have a form of memory. They use this memory to retain information about previous inputs in the sequence, allowing them to model sequential data more effectively. So the key idea is the recurrent loop, a mechanism where the output from one time step is fed as an input to the next time step. So this allows the network to maintain information across the sequence, which is particularly useful for tasks like speech recognition, language modeling, video analysis, all those things. So um, it will be very useful. So long short term memory, LSTM, what it means in professional way is one of the limitation of traditional RNNs is their inability to capture long range dependencies due to the problem of vanishing and exploding gradients during backpropagation. To address this, long short-term memory networks are introduced. LSTMs are a special form of RNN that incorporate memory cells and gating mechanisms to regulate flow of information through the network. The core innovation is ability to store important information for extended periods while selectively forgetting irrelevant data. So if you have lots of data, you understand this, you have to forget some data that you don't require, just like human brain. So the gates control when to allow the new input, when to forget the past data, when to output the information from the memory cell. This makes LSTMs highly effective for tasks that require long-term memory retention, such as long text sequences, speech generation, financial data prediction. So all those things uh, comes under the LSTM. It is the task for LSTM. Of course, the key applications, three main key application: natural language processing. So when you are doing natural language processing, you must understand the whole context, what the user is trying to say. So for that case, uh, RNNs and LSTM are widely used for machine translation, text generation, sentiment analysis due to their ability to understand context over sequence of word, speech recognition, integral to systems that convert spoken language into text by modeling the temporal relationship in speech signal, time series forecasting. RNNs and LSTM are highly effective in predicting trends and patterns in sequential data such as stock prices or weather conditions. So stock prices and weather conditions fall under this RNNs and LSTM category. Let's see introduction. So in today's era of big data and online communication, understanding the sentiment behind written text is a powerful capability. So you already know everything you see on the internet. You start with searching for on Google. Whatever you find will be in the form of text. So you understand why text is very important in the world. So whether analyzing reviews, text, or customer feedback, sentiment analysis helps business and researchers gain valuable insights. So in this article, we are going to build a long short-term memory network using Python and TensorFlow on IMDb data. I did this. So what are the prerequisites? Simple. First thing is you have to create a virtual environment. Then you should activate the virtual environment using the command, this one. Then these libraries are involved here. Of course, TensorFlow, pandas, I told you the data frame thing in all the projects you will require. And NumPy, very important. sklearn, you already know everything that we do is available in sklearn. Lots of things, reporting tools and train test split, all those things are available in sklearn. Natural language toolkit, then comes the matplotlib, of course, for the plotting the charts. So I will first show you. I ran this half an hour ago, or I think more than that, near about 4:30 or 4:40 p.m. So let's look at what the output was. So it ran into sequential mode like this with the different layers, and for 5 epoch it ran, and test accuracy was 85.58%. And this is the report, and you already know how to read this report. I told you many times in many projects, so I am including these reports in almost all the projects. So the main thing is how it works. So you already know the output. What happens is you give the text and it will do the sentiment analysis, but this time what is happening is it will keep the things in the memory, uh, so that next time what we are getting makes much more sense. So I have used the same dataset, IMDb dataset from the previous session here to do the sentiment analysis, but this time I have used TensorFlow layers, sequential layers, to create a RNN. So this is simple, this is again simple. Now comes the part of data loading and pre-processing. You will require all these things. So by looking at this you will remember, or I have used all these things from previous sessions: NumPy, Pandas, TensorFlow, sklearn, Matplotlib, Natural Language Toolkit, and this is Natural Language Toolkit corpus, stopwords, and then for detecting some patterns, RE. So this is how you include the stopwords in your project, nltk.download stopwords. And of course you, if you remember, for creating the data frame, you will require a CSV file. So CSV file, I already downloaded this IMDb dataset from the internet, and then included this. In previous session I told you where you can download it from. So it is available in Kaggle, so you can download easily from that website. Step by step data pre-processing part. So if you remember, I told you the text we are having in the dataset, it contains capital and small letters mixed. So what you have to do is convert everything to lowercase, so that we can calculate the word frequency and other things to compute, to easily compute the things. So removing the stop words, and if you remember there are some stop words. So if I look for stop words list, so these are some of the NLTK stop words: I, me, my. They make not much sense, so remove stop words. So this is the part for pre-processing, and also to remove the special characters and digit from the text like this. So this is where RE regex come here. So regex is being commonly used for years to look for the patterns and find the patterns and replace the things. So regex is okay. So let's look at the Python RE regular expression. So specify a set of strings that matches it. So for matching the patterns, regex or a regular expression matching is being used. Okay, so this is what regex is, simple. And after removing the special character digits, after converting to lowercase, after removing the stop words, so this was the part for data pre-processing. This is important, and when we get the clean data, we will store this into this data frame column cleaned underscore review. So this is how you call the data frame column. So cleaned underscore review column, if you want to call or store data into it, this is how you can use it, cleaned underscore review. I will continue this session in next video. See you in next video. Have a nice day.